Welcome back. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. We do Mental Health Minute. And Mental Health Minute is all about giving you that 1 minute for yourself so you could take time and appreciate yourself, love on yourself, take a time to breathe, whatever it is you want to do. Maybe do some mindful meditation, as Ms. Dion taught us in another segment. Mental Health Minute was created just for that. But beyond just that 1 minute, it was all about bringing tangible resources, speaking on different topics we go through as humans, solely around mental health, self-care, things like that. But today, I wanted to celebrate a certain demographic of folks who do a certain job. And this job, y'all, is not easy, by far. It has a lot of responsibility. And I feel like although they have time to get shine, and they do get shine, these group of people, I wanted to take it upon myself for Mental Health Minute on today with my guest, Tynnetta Talks, to give some love, appreciation, gratitude to our teachers who educate our students, our young people, who are cultivating them while their parents are working and taking care of the business so they can take care of their families. Our teachers who are there for our children, to be honest with you, who create other relationships with our children outside of our homes. And I'm a little biased of that because I live with one of the most amazing teachers in my home, my wife. But I think bigger than that, just realizing the complications of teaching, way things are in the world. I think, when I think of our teachers and the balance of teaching and delivering academics to young people, um, I also think about like what happens once the teachers stop doing that. When they go home, do they disconnect? Do they go home still worried about the day? Do they go home and work because they didn't get enough time to do it in the school? And my teachers are probably saying, "Yup, yup, yup." So they're probably feeling that. But we want to love on y'all today. So I brought Tynnetta Talks in to the building to do Mental Health Minute with me. And Tynnetta Talks, at one point of her career, was a teacher for a good amount of years, high school teacher. And I requested for Tynnetta Talks to share with us her 5 self-care tips for our teachers. Just things she learned just from experience from teaching, but also from veteran teachers who have guided her when she was a little lost or maybe felt less than or felt like wasn't doing enough for her students. I really felt like Tynnetta Talks can really deliver this mental health minute for us. So I don't need to keep going, but before we get into bringing Tynnetta Talks into the building fully, we have to give you that minute, y'all. And that's what this is about. So in this minute, you know what the routine is by now. You take this minute, you love on yourself. You take this minute, and you might want to reminisce on someone who is not here no more, who you still hold deeply and dearly to your heart, because maybe you need to think of them. You could take this minute and sit down and just kick your feet up and close your eyes and meditate. Or you could just take this minute and go use the restroom and come back for the goodness that we deliver. Either way, take this minute for yourself, y'all. That's what it's about. And when you come back after that 1 minute, myself and Tynnetta Talks are going to deliver the goods and give you some tangible thoughts for our teachers. Teachers, this one is for you. So if you are a teacher and you are feeling this segment and you're like, thank you, throw it in the comment. Me and Tynnetta Talks would love to see that as we want to do more videos in support of teachers and their self-care, their mental health, because you know what, y'all? We need our teachers. So take this minute in, and we will be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for taking that minute. Thank you for taking that minute with me and Tynnetta Talks. Mental Health Minute is all about that, y'all. It's all about you taking a minute for yourself because you deserve it. And in the midst of where the world is, and every Wednesday bringing this Mental Health Minute segment is all about a reminder. It's a reminder, for one, to take care of yourself because you are the star player. But beyond that, it's a reminder to be patient. I feel sometimes in the world we live in, we just rush, 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 rush because we want to get the results. And sometimes those results you need to be patient for. So I hope you took that minute and you realized or visualized things that you need to do for yourself for the rest of this week. And you know what? This segment for today, as I mentioned in the intro, is all about our teachers. I got some serious love for teachers in this month of March. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm a little biased because I live with one of the best teachers in the world, my wife. And in saying that, I also know how hard this job is. There's a lot of difficult jobs in the world. I know that. I worked some of them, but there's not one as difficult as a teacher who teaches children who are our future, who are going to lead us into the next stage of this world. So, as I mentioned the name earlier, I have Tynnetta Talks in the building. And Tynnetta Talks was a past teacher. So I was like, who better to have this talk about and throw some mad love and gratitude and appreciation to our teachers than Tynnetta Talks? So, Tynnetta, come on in the building with me. And you know the topic. The topic is teachers and self care. What you got for us?
I got you. You know what? I'm gonna tell Adam. You may not know this, but you actually made me a teacher first. My first teaching experience was teaching peer mediation at House of the Wood Camp, and I thought about that. Like I was like 16, didn't know what I was doing. I had two young ladies. They was two or three young ladies. They was interested in me teaching them conflict resolution. You just said, Snetty, you got it. I think you know what to do. And I've been teaching ever since.
That's right. That's right.
Teaching since I was a teenager, and I had to put that on my resume. 20 years of experience. Right, but I'm gonna tell everybody. So, just like Adam said, I am a past high school teacher, a professor, but I'm always an educator everywhere I go. And from being in the classroom as a high school teacher, I learned really quickly you have to take care of yourself because it affects the whole environment of your classroom. And the students know when you're not feeling well. So since I work with older students, they knew immediately, Miss Muhammad, are you okay? You're not feeling so well. You're talking to us differently. I realized that I wasn't taking care of myself because I put them so far ahead in everything that the school wanted me to do. I didn't put myself first. So when I realized when I put my health and my mindset first, everything ran a lot smoother. So I have 5 things for you all, and you all can take them and put them in any order you want. But these are the 5 things I really think educators should really take heed to. And the first thing is do what you can. You're never going to have a day where it's perfect. You may not even get through half of your lesson plan. It's okay. I learned maybe my 4th year going into high school, maybe my 3rd year as a high school teacher. I had all these plans made, and there are days when plans went out the window, like nobody was listening. I was mad, they
Mhm.
was mad. But midway through a semester, I'm like, you know what? As long as I teach them some things and make them better than what they came in my classroom as, my day is done. I have already accomplished something. So don't get so upset at the fact you don't complete a lesson. The students really are there for you. They want you, they want your attention, and you're giving it to them. So do what you can and you move forward. I learned that from a veteran teacher. She said, even if I don't make it all the way through, I made it up to the point I can, and then that was it. They learn. That's number one. Do what you can. The second one is listen to your mind and listen to your body. Sometimes we ignore those mental cues telling us to
Yep.
slow down. We ignore our body telling us to sit down. There have been many times in the classroom where I was just physically exhausted because I was just exhausted. I was kind of sick of repeating myself. And then I realized I said, you know what? I'm gonna just take a seat and It's okay. As an educator, you know what? If you used to walking around the classroom, students already know that's what you do. But if you feel in your body that you're getting exhausted and tired, you're no good if you're falling over. You're no good if you're dizzy. You're no good if your head is hurting. Take a seat and tell the class, be open, be transparent. I need to take a seat for a minute. I need you all to follow my instructions while I'm sitting at this desk, and then you
Hmm.
can keep moving forward. So follow your mind, follow those cues that your body's telling you. And I promise you, the students will be just fine. They will. They know that your health is important because you cannot be effective if you're not paying attention to your health. Number three, be authentic. Be yourself. They're not paying us enough to be somebody else. they, they not. Yes, you if you are a mild person, a person that's loud and extra, just be your authentic self, of course, in the confines of being professional and being an educator. But when you're trying to be something that you're not, it actually makes you more tired and exhausted. I learned, after my first year teaching, because I came into teaching as a special education teacher. I was trying to be all mild and calm. My natural spirit is excited. I am a very happy and excited person. Within 3 months, I said, no, they're gonna get the full authentic Tanetta because they need to see who I am to right, to embrace my
Yep.
teaching style. Be your authentic self. It is like I'm trying to take off like layers and burdens from you all, because we put all these hats on, and it's fine to have the hats, but within that time frame, do what you can, take a break, be yourself, so you can do all that, and it makes the environment more calm, more peaceful, and the
Mhm.
students actually respect you more because you're not pretending, and you're telling them things as they come up. So if you tell the students, I expect to learn in the objective of the day this, and this, and then close to the end of class, well, we made it to two things. We gonna get to the third thing tomorrow. All right, I'm glad we learned two. Just be happy that you learned something. So almost being appreciative in that moment. I have two more things. Don't overwork yourself.
Mm.
And
Say
this
that
is
again,
hard.
Tanetta. Say that
Don't
one more time. Say
overwork.
that one more time for our beautiful teachers.
Don't overwork yourself. You actually giving the work to the students. Give it to them. I have learned to release that
Mm.
power and give it to the students when it comes to them doing their work. I make them sweat. They don't make me sweat. When they think they give me work, I say, no, you got this and this due. I already released it to you. I can't
Mhm.
force you to do it. I can't make you do it. I can teach you, but you're here to learn what I have. Of course, I put it in a message where it's easily acceptable. It's palatable to the student. So I don't make it where it's hard for them to understand, but they know, and all their classmates know, Miss Muhammad gives you this work, and I break it down into little bitty bite-sized pieces. So it's really not difficult. I
Mhm.
pair them up. Like, don't overwork yourself, whatever you do at all. It's not even worth it, because you'll find that overworking yourself is like detriment to you. So don't overwork yourself to a point where you're so tired and you're angry you're coming. Just come, know what the objective is. I try to make my lessons fun. I mean, related to whatever they need to know and how it can be related to their lives. But don't overwork yourself. Like, that's when I go back to listening to your mind and body. Like, I have taught a whole lesson. I did the you do, we do, I do thing, because that's what teachers learn. And then give it to the students. They can come to your desk if they need help. Talking to the teachers, even if you're in kindergarten, those students can come to you. You give them instructions. When you need help, come to me, because I'm not going to be running zigzags if I don't have to. You come to me, and that becomes a practice, and then you're not overworking yourself. Make them do the work. Last thing is take breaks, like mental breaks. So you have these prep periods, you have lunch breaks. Take advantage of those breaks. Don't keep working if you don't need to. And I know this is hard. I have learned this from other veteran teachers. They take their breaks serious. I have closed my door off. Students can't come in my room. Now, this is, of course, maybe for older students. I take them serious. Like after that bell ring on my lunch break, if I'm able to take a break and they come to me, I be like, I can't even hear you. My break ears on. Like I can't, I can't even see you. So
Um,
I'm just thinking like in any job, even corporate jobs, being able to have boundaries. So the breaks is a boundary. Set your boundaries and be serious about your boundaries, and that actually helps you have a more clear mind. We have more boundaries. So those are my 5 things. Do what you can, listen to your mind and body, be authentic, don't overwork yourself, and take breaks or create boundaries. And that's what I say for mental health because it makes your life so much easier. And then the students respect you more because they know Miss and Mister is serious about what they do and they want to be more respectful of your time.
Oh, Tanetta, you dropped a lot of gems. Tanetta's
I
dropping
know, I just
gems
kept
on this
going.
mental health minute. Um, a few thoughts here, right?
Right.
Because I had some amazing teachers in my life. I was blessed with some amazing ones, and I think
Mm-hmm.
of one of my teachers, Miss Roberts. And Miss
Mm-hmm.
Roberts, she was the only black teacher in my school, which was I thought very special at that time. And
Wow.
she, beyond that, Miss Roberts didn't play, right? She didn't play. But that didn't mean that I didn't come in some days and push those buttons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because as a child, as a student, and especially at that era of time, um, there was no thought in my head as a child, is Miss Roberts' self-care okay today?
Right, right. You ain't
Right?
thinking about
I wasn't
that.
thinking about that at all. Miss Robert made me
No.
do an extra assignment that I didn't want to do. I probably pushed her buttons. But you know what the beautiful thing about Miss Roberts, and this is why I love teachers so much, is she did the most field trips out of all the teachers I've ever had in my life.
Right, right.
And they weren't like, let's go to the park. No, we went to the museum. We she took us to places to open up our mind, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I have a lot of appreciation, for Miss Roberts. And there was many other things she did for me, but while I'm bringing her up, it goes to the thing of like I never thought as a child about. I didn't worry about Miss Roberts' self-care, to be honest, as a student. And students are coming in with book bags and book bags you can't see. And those book
Right,
bags you can't see have things in them like things that are going on at home.
right.
I didn't eat this morning, right? And sometimes that child will go to a school and put it on a teacher because, right, whether they're channeling it wrong or not, like, things like that. Where I'm
Mm-hmm.
going with it,
Right,
Netta. And a teacher has to be prepared for that. And
right,
how do they be prepared for something like that, right? Because it's not just one of them. You got a student, you got a classroom of 20,
right,
right?
right,
You got about 10 of them with different things.
right.
And that's the beautiful thing of teachers because they take on a job to teach. But then there's the level of like human life,
Mm-hmm.
caring for a student in that way, which I know doesn't always fare well because you're adding more to yourself as a teacher. I guess what I'm speaking to on the grand scheme is the
Mm-hmm.
big balance that teachers have to do.
Yes, yes.
So in all that balancing, and you gave great 5 pointers that were just on point. It's spring break for you. It's going to be spring
Yes,
break for Miss Millie in a week or so here, and a lot of our
yes.
teachers are on spring break. I guess what are some things that they can do to just disconnect for spring break? It's spring break time. We want our teachers to get some rest. We want them to feel good about themselves, to get ready to come back to educate our students, our young people.
Oh
During
my
spring
God.
break, what can they do?
First thing I would say is disconnect that email if you have it on your phone. Take it off because you're not checking no. Don't check work email at all. Um, but I want to go back to Miss Roberts. You said Miss Roberts.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you one way I made my classroom so loving and caring. Every morning I came in that class and I said, "Good morning, beautiful." I would tell my students I love them every day. And I took them on field trips, like you just said. And that's actually a way to not overwork yourself because you take them on a field trip, you're not doing the teaching, somebody else is. And I also will bring guest speakers in. I wouldn't do the teaching, the guest speaker is. So that also opens their mind up because they're not just looking at you all the time, they're looking at somebody else. So I like Miss Roberts already. so, so think about that. Bring other experts in because you're not the only one. But to disconnect, Spring break, take that email off your phone. I want you to have a day of rest. If you have one day that you are able to rest and not do nothing, don't feel bad. I mean, you can lay in that bed and watch episodes of whatever sitcom, movie, eat what you want. I would say turn off your alarms.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you just wake up naturally at the crack of dawn. But if you have an alarm that's for work, turn that off. I need you to sleep in because you can rest and not feel rushed in the morning like you have to rush to go to work or anything. So get you some rest. Turn that alarm off. Watch something. Do something that you want to do, like that you truly enjoy. So I had some things in my mind that I wasn't able to do on my while I'm at work. So I'm like, I need to clear my garage out. It may sound like work to somebody else, but I actually like to organize. Do something like I want to organize the garage because that would make me happy and have clarity in my home. So if you
Mhm.
want to go to this special place that you haven't been going to, maybe go to a concert if it fits within that time frame, but do something that brings a smile to your face and bring joy. So that is something I would say to disconnect. And then, like, of course, you have responsibilities after spring break, but it's all about you this week. Don't feel bad that you're not focusing on the lesson plan. Don't worry about that. You go, don't do that. Maybe on that Friday or Saturday, depending on how skilled you are at writing them lesson plans, but
Yeah.
make sure you enjoy yourself and you do something that makes you happy. Don't even think about the students, the staff, the parents, because what you're doing on your time is none of their business. It's all about you. That's what I was gonna say.
Come on now. You're so right, Tanetta. And I think, being able to take this, even if it's one day, like sleep in.
Hmm.
Like
That's
sleep
it.
in until you can, right? If that's the
That's
resources you
all.
have and stuff like that. But I think bigger part, do something for yourself. And that doesn't always have to be something you buy yourself, right? You can soak
Hmm.
your feet and watch your favorite movie.
That's it.
You can make your favorite meal because you have time to actually cook the thing, right? Like
Yes.
there's so many things that we want y'all teachers to do for yourself because you
Hmm.
deserve it, right? And
Yes.
I think, when we talk about like our teachers, and I know you were an amazing teacher, just the way you were speaking of the environment you create. And
Hmm.
I didn't say this, but I think the beautiful thing of Miss Roberts as well is that at that time when she was my teacher, I was really big in dancing. And at that time, it was house music going on that was just
Hmm.
humongous in Chicago. And every neighborhood had a dance group, and I was in several. And Miss Roberts knew that. And the special thing about Miss Roberts, for every lunch period, we used to have sometimes lunch period in our classroom. And he
Really?
would walk me around to each classroom and say, Adam's about to perform for y'all for a few minutes. Y'all gonna have to watch him, and then when he's done, we'll let you finish eating. And she supported me
Oh,
like that. Like she advocated for me like that. Even like when they had like on the end of the school year when you have your little party for each
yep.
classroom, I was dancing at each classroom because she booked me. She was booking me in each classroom,
Actually,
right?
book you.
And that's the special thing about teachers, right? We get this escapism. We have our parents who are obviously they're our foundation and and
Hmm.
and who we live with, right? And then we get to step out of our home to find independence and get educated, right? And we meet
Hmm.
amazing teachers, all right? The ones who
Hmm.
are doing the work, who are going into work every day, exhausted, but still doing
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
they know that they are impacting these students. So big ups to all the teachers, principals, social workers, therapists who work in the school
Yes.
systems, school nurse, our
Yes.
custodian staff, our gym teachers, everybody. If I miss somebody, our paras, our paraprofessionals, I can't forget
Woo.
them. All
Yes.
of our people who support our students, who's helping you heal, got mad love for y'all. Tynnetta Talks, I know has mad love for y'all. And on this mental health minute for spring break, if you're on that right now, we want you to take the time for yourself.
I would say reclaim your time.
Exactly, right? Reclaim your time. And I think
Yes.
that is the big thing of this conversation. So, in all, I'm going to end this with just saying we appreciate you, teachers. We know that sometimes this road is a little bumpy, and we do understand that sometimes resources don't make them smoother. It's just children who cooperate that do. But know that sometimes you are the change for that child. As much as they're driving you crazy, they're probably going home saying how much they love you. Real talk. Think about
That's
Miss
real.
Roberts.
That's real. You don't
So
realize it.
it's saying that catch us next Wednesday for our next Mental Health Minute. Take care of yourselves because y'all the star players and you know what my last words are. Who's helping you heal, y'all? Peace.